Once upon a time, in the deep blue waters of a river lived a very clever fish, small in size, yet sharp in mind, who unknowingly became a timeless teacher for generations through the wisdom of his actions.
Today, I want to share not just the story itself, but a heartfelt review of its meaning, its beauty,
And the lessons hidden beneath its watery waves. Before we dive in fully, let me hook you with one thought. Have you ever realized that sometimes the smallest creatures, the ones often ignored, can teach us the greatest lessons about survival, intelligence, and the power of wit over might? That is exactly why this story continues to be loved, retold, and remembered across different cultures and households.
The clever fish represents not just a character in folklore but a mirror to ourselves.
Showing how strategy, quick thinking, and presence of mind can save us even when we are cornered by danger. In this review, I want to walk you through the story's timeless appeal, the impact it has on children as well as adults, and why this simple moral tale continues to sparkle like a pearl beneath the river of human imagination. The essence of the clever fish lies in its extraordinary ability to transform a simple narrative into a powerful lesson. At its core, the story tells of a fish that was caught in a fisherman's net, seemingly doomed to perish. Yet instead of giving in to fear, it used its intelligence to plead for freedom, convincing the fisherman to let it go. This moment is not just an escape. It is a symbol of wit overpowering brute force, of thought overcoming despair. In reviewing this story, it becomes clear that it is not just a fable for children, but a blueprint of survival for everyone who listens carefully.
The fish embodies a universal truth that when faced with problems,
Panic never helps, but calmness, wisdom, and a sharp mind can carve a way out of any net that life throws at us. This is why when parents tell this story to their kids, they are not only entertaining them with a tale of talking fish, but planting seeds of resilience, cleverness into their growing minds. What makes the story so captivating is its simplicity blended with deep meaning. Unlike long epics filled with countless twists, the clever fish story is short, straightforward, and memorable, which is precisely why it travels from mouth to mouth, generation to generation, leaving the same impression each time. Reviewing it makes me realize that the story is not merely about a fisherman and his catch. It is about the eternal conflict between power and intelligence, between greed and wisdom, and between short-term gain and long-term foresight.
the fisherman represents worldly greed, the urge to possess more.
While the fish represents wisdom disguised in smallness, the reminder that size and strength are not the only measures of power. That balance, that contrast, makes the story timeless. It can be told in a classroom, at bedtime, or even in a motivational talk.
And it would still strike the right chords with its audience.
The moral angle of the story shines even brighter when we apply it to our modern world. Today, when people face endless struggles, whether in their careers, relationship, or education, the clever fish reminds us to use our intelligence and presence of mind rather than succumbing to stress. Reviewing this tale in today's perspective, it becomes more than just a children's bedtime story. It becomes a reminder that we all, like the clever fish, have the ability to slip out of life's toughest nets. If we just think calmly and act wisely, for children, the lesson is direct. Be clever, be alert, and think before you act. For adults, it resonates even deeper. Not every problem needs brute force. Sometimes, what you truly need is the sharpness of thought. This dual meaning is what makes a story universally appealing and worthy of review even centuries after it was first told. Another striking element I find worth reviewing is how this story influences imagination.
When children hear about the fish caught in the net, they can almost see it struggling, gasping for breath, and then speaking with wit and confidence.
This visualization captures their imagination and trains them to see beyond the obvious. Storytelling is powerful because it makes listeners live the moment. And this clever fish tale does exactly that. It places the listener in the middle of the river,
Lets them feel the panic of capture, and then fills them with relief when the fish finds its escape.
The emotional journey from fear to triumph is what makes it such an unforgettable experience. Reviewing it now, I realize that it doesn't just give a moral lesson. It also teaches empathy, courage, and the value of creative thinking. The Clever Fish is also a story that bridges culture and age. No matter where you are from, the idea of being trapped and finding a way out resonates universally. This is why versions of the Clever Fish exist across different countries, with slight variations. Yet the moral remains the same. Cleverness is mightier than brute strength.
Reviewing its cultural impact, one cannot ignore how this simple tale has traveled like flowing water, crossing boundaries and touching lives.
For a child in America, it may be a bedtime fable. For a child in India or Pakistan, it may be a parable told by grandparents. For someone in Africa, it may be part of their oral tradition. Yet, in every version, the Clever Fish continues to sparkle with the same charm and wisdom, proving that good morals never age. A personal reflection adds even more depth to this review. When I think back to my own childhood, I remember hearing this story and instantly being drawn to the fish, not because it was strong or mighty, but because it was smart and brave. As a child, I admired it. As an adult, I respect it even more, because I now realize how many times in life I've been caught in difficult nets myself, whether through challenges, failures, or struggles, and how clever thinking helped me swim free. This personal connection is why I believe so many people continue to love and retell this story. It feels personal, as though the Clever Fish is whispering directly to you. Be wise, think fast, and you will always find your way. In reviewing the Clever Fish story, one cannot ignore its educational importance. Teachers often use it to encourage critical thinking, asking children what they would do if they were in the fish's place. This not only makes the story interactive, but also strengthens problem-solving skills. Reviewing it through the lens of education, I see how effective it is as a tool for moral development, as it goes beyond entertainment to shape character. Children learn that courage is not about size, and cleverness is not about deception, but about choosing wisdom responsibly to save oneself without harming others. This is a subtle yet powerful lesson, one that stays with them long after the story ends. The brilliance of the Clever Fish also lies in how it entertains without needing it. There are no kings or kingdoms, no magical spells, no castles in the clouds, just a fish, a net, and a fisherman. Yet, it captures hearts far more deeply than many elaborate tales, because it reflects the simple truths of life. The river is like life itself, calm at times and threatening at others, and the fish is like each of us, swimming through with courage and wit. This stripped-down simplicity is what gives it power.
Proving that sometimes the most beautiful stories are the ones told with the fewest details but the richest meanings.
As I close this detailed review, I cannot help but emphasize how the Clever Fish remains a golden gem among moral stories. It is not merely a tale for children, but a guiding light for anyone seeking wisdom in times of trouble. Its appeal lies in its balance of entertainment and lesson, of imagery and meaning, of fear and triumph. Reviewing it makes me appreciate the art of storytelling itself, the way a small fish in a river becomes a lifelong teacher for generations of listeners. Whether you are a child hearing it for the first time or an adult reflecting on its lesson after many years, The clever fish always leaves you with something precious. The belief that intelligence, presence of mind, and wisdom can help you overcome the greatest challenges.
So, if you ever feel trapped in the nets of life, remember this tale, recall the clever fish, and let it inspire you to think your way to freedom.
And with that, I end this review with the final words. Clever fish, moral stories.